I am joined with Nick or TFSlaier, and today is the first of the BBN Podcast, Nick.
Yeah, what's up? Huh?
Unfortunately, one of the B's can't be here for the first episode. His name is Brent, or TF Crusher.
I'm already rating this a B. It can't be an A anymore.
Yeah, he can't make it, so we're already down a B in the BBN, but that's alright. He should be back next time,
These are like
hopefully.
my real grades. You got an N? Man, that's worse than an F. And you got like a 10%.
Where does a G fall in that?
B, and N equals 110%.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry.
So, I have about 11 topics.
I ain't got shit.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't got shit. So, we have. I sorted them all out with with little genres here. So we have two creepy topics, or at least I thought was creepy. We have a stupid and two stupids, creepy animals, gaming, avoidable, creepy, science, a shooting, funny, another funny,
I like how you say
and
shooting
stupid.
and then funny.
Yeah,
Was it a funny shooting?
a funny and a funny and stupid. So, what do you want to start off with? Do you want to?
I want to hear the funny shooting.
Well, there's no actual funny shooting. Like it was shooting and then.
Let's
funny.
get into the shooting. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty
right.
anticipated for this. I'm like ready to go.
You're anticipating the shooting. Alrighty.
Wrong word for my vocab there, but yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty, so for the shooting, this happened November 2nd, 2017.
Oh man.
And 3 individuals were killed in a Walmart shooting in Colorado. 47-year-old Scott Ostrom has been taken into custody after killing 2 men on scene and a woman after she made it to the hospital in Thornton, Colorado. Before Ostrom was taken into custody, he led police in a pursuit before he finally gave up, I guess, or it ended. We don't really know how it ended. It just ended.
Yeah, we actually talked about that in my law class.
Did you talk about that story in your law class?
Yeah, like every Thursday we have to have like a current events, and that was like the current event we used.
Really?
Mine was about like a couple guys from Rockwood with a DUI, but yeah, that was somebody's story. I get into class, I'm like, fuck, today's Thursday, okay, what's bull?
Al actually said that he knows that area. And he said that he lived close to that Walmart. So it's very interesting how I find a news story that is literally right in a friend's neighborhood. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, but seriously though, what I want to know about this is, how did the shooting actually happen? I wanted to know the murder weapon. Because if you know the murder weapon, then you can kind of guess how, it could have happened. Because if the murder weapon was an AR-15, then you know that motherfucker was doing some shrooms and then walked up in there and just wanted to start shooting people. But if it was done with, a Glock, then you know that, oh, maybe he had a concealed carry, and the fucking cashier ripped him off 13
I think as
cents.
much as I know now, it was, they didn't have, a motive for it. It was just some guys started shooting some shit.
So he just did some shrooms with an AR-15.
Yeah, he just straight up started shooting some shit.
That's...
We also learned in my law class, most school shootings, they're all connected in, that they suffer from, mental health
Well, this
issues.
wasn't a school shooting, but yeah, I know what you're
I know, it was a
talking about.
Walmart shooting. I mean, honestly, that bastards over at Walmart need shot.
Walmart, high school, what's the difference? Alrighty.
Alright, I want to go into that science topic. That kind of caught my gears.
That caught your gears, did it now?
Yup. Turned my gears. Turn me on.
Oh. Alrighty then. Where's the science topic? Oh, okay. So here's the science topic. New mystery chamber found in the Great Pyramid of Giza, and this was found.
It's like a gas chamber or something.
No, no, it wasn't. This happened November 2nd, 2017. Scientists studying the Great Pyramid of Giza used a cosmic...
What'd you type in on Google real quick? Did you type in shit that happened on November 2nd of 2017?
No, that's just... They both happened the same day, okay? It's supposed to be news from, like, the past week or so, okay?
Alright.
This also happened on November 2nd. Scientists studying the Great Pyramid of Giza used a cosmic ray scanner on the pyramid. Inside they found a, quote, void just above the king's chamber. The void is said to be 100 feet long, and the cosmic scanner uses particles called muons. These muons are partially absorbed by solid objects. By seeing the trajectory of the muons, the scientists can see inside the pyramid, and that's how they found the void in the pyramid.
That's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat because it's pretty neato burrito because because if you really think about it, like, we don't know much about the pyramids at all.
Yeah, there's no real like big studies that go into that.
Yeah, and last time I checked, so like we thought, oh, you know, we found all the secret passageways and pyramids inside the pyramids and all the chambers in the pyramids, so fuck that. We're just not going to study it anymore. And then here's these guys with this fucking muon scanner or whatever the fuck, and they're just like, hey, we found this chamber that you dumb idiots didn't find, so let us dig here.
I actually found some stuff online today. It was about the Marianas Trench, and they had this space probe. Jesus Christ, they had this probe they lowered into it, and they were trying to pull it up, but it got stuck, and they're like, oh, we got stuck on a rock, and that's what they told people. But it was like the untold story side of it, and they were telling us about like how they found like this big ass tooth, and they found it from like a megalodon. And I'm like, well, holy fuck, you got a megalodon living down there, and they're like, yeah, we found like a bunch of creatures and stuff that they never knew existed.
Yeah, how the fuck you gonna say, oh yeah, it's just a fucking rock, and then like 10 minutes later you're like, yeah, it's just fucking megalodon tooth, like.
Yeah, there's a big difference between a 50-ton shark and a goddamn boulder.
Yeah, exactly. Like, holy fuck.
Oh yeah, you got stuck on this big ass boulder. Oh,
meanwhile, finds
I don't know,
megalodon
maybe
tooth.
It fell out.
Yeah, right. It's fucking ridiculous.
No wonder sharks get pissed off when they attack shit. If they're losing their teeth in people, I'd be pissed off too.
Alrighty. So that's 2 topics down. What do you want to move on to next?
Let's get a funny one in here.
A funny one in here. Okay. Let me ask you a question, Nick.
Oh, good. Alright.
Do you like Garfield?
Yeah, I enjoy some Garfield.
Alrighty. Well, on November 1st, 2017...
Oh, it wasn't the second this time.
No, it was the day before that. John Mayer questions why Garfield hates Mondays. The singer John Mayer questioned on Twitter, why does Garfield hate Mondays? The singer then wondered if he had a job like a 9-to-5, because that would explain it. The singer was absolutely flooded with responses, but ultimately someone named Megan on Twitter posted a link to an interview with Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield. Jim Davis had been quoted in saying, Garfield does not have a job, Garfield does not go to school, and every day is the same. Nevertheless, every Monday is just a reminder that his life is the same old, cycling again, and for some reason, even though his life is pretty much the same every day, on Mondays specifically, awful things tend to happen to him physically.
I see.
So it's...
So this is supposed to be funny.
I thought it was funny. Paper comic about a cat. And Jim Davis wrote this, and TV shows and stuff. And then he wrote the cat as like this really deep fucking like Steven Spielberg movie plot. It's like, what the fuck? It's just a cartoon cat. Why does it have to be this complex? That's why I thought it was funny.
He, like me, is a pain in the ass.
I can vouch for that.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. Alright, now, what was some of the other topics you had?
I have... these are the ones that we haven't gone over yet. I have... I'm just reading them in order. I don't know how many of each one there are. I'm not gonna put that much thought into it. But reading down the line, we have a stupid one, a creepy one, one about...
Let's do a stupid one.
Stupid one? Okay.
Although the last one was pretty stupid, but yeah, go ahead.
Do you want the straight stupid one, or the one that is a cross between funny and stupid?
Let's do a funny stupid one.
Alright, well the funny stupid one is on November 3rd, we've completed the trifecta of the first 3 days of the month, ladies and gentlemen. On November 3rd, 2017, Jesus attacks Jedi Knight in the UK.
What? What?
Police in the Dundee area in Scotland are hunting down a man who was or is dressed as Jesus for Halloween because he assaulted another Halloween celebrator who was dressed as a Jedi Knight. The Knight ended up breaking his ankle in the attack. The Knight ended up breaking his ankle in the attack. The Knight was taken to Nine Wells Hospital following the attack, and police are still searching for Jesus.
You know who else is still looking for Jesus? Every black person in prison.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, good lord. Racism, sponsored by TFSlaier. Oh, good god.
It's not racism, it's a common fact.
Oh, man. Jesus.
Yeah,
I have nothing else. I have nothing else to say about that topic, honestly. I just wanted to throw it in there to get a laugh, to be honest.
Alright, well, let's do the other stupid one while we're at it.
Alrighty. October 29th, 2017. So we're going back a month a little bit here. Debate rages on about burger emoji across different platforms.
That's fucking retarded.
That's why it's stupid. But listen to this. A man on Twitter by the name of Thomas Bakedall spotted a difference in the cheeseburger emojis of Apple and Google. Google's burger features cheese below the actual meat patty of the burger, whereas Apple just puts it on top of the meat. And this sparked a whole shitstorm on Twitter for no reason.
You know what else starts a bullshit shitstorm on Twitter? Donald Trump. He's always got something goddamn stupid to say.
Damn it, shut up. No U.S. politics, Nick.
I'm not doing the politics side of this. I'm talking about him as a person. He's a fucking idiot. Yeah, leave your hate down in the comment section.
Yup.
Yep,
100%.
that's exactly what I meant to say. TFSlaier for treason. Yep.
TFSlaier for treason.
I'll be down at Guantanamo Bay.
Oh my god. Okay. I
Alright,
just
what other
thought that
topics?
this was, I mean, on the burger one, I just thought that this was really stupid. Like, honestly. Like, I don't understand why people got so triggered and got this whole big conversation about a fucking burger emoji.
Probably white girls had nothing better to bitch about at Starbucks.
I don't know, maybe. Alrighty, so we have a creepy, an animal related one, a gaming related one.
Well, let's do an animal. All right.
The animal one? Alright.
Yeah.
Alrighty. October 30th, 2017, a Eurasian lynx by the name of Lilith escaped a zoo in Wales.
Oh,
In the
Jesus
UK.
Christ, they got a lynx running around out there. Holy
the
shit.
lynx the lynx had escaped from the Barth Zoo in Wales. It
Warning,
escaped
pussy escapes from zoo.
Pussy escapes from zoo.
They actually had a hippo or rhino or some shit escape over Malaysia. Or where the fuck it was. Somewhere over there.
Stupid.
But
The
get
lynx.
back to the...
Yeah, the lynx had escaped from the Barth Zoo in Wales. It escaped the Animalarium, a specific attraction, in the zoo. The zoo experts and officials say that despite the lynx being juvenile and stressed, it isn't dangerous. It will only attack if you pose a threat to it. So apparently it's juvenile and stressed, which
I'd be stressed if you stuck
Hashtag-
me in some fake ass habitat with some fake ass rocks.
hashtag
Fake
emo
ass trees.
lynx.
This motherfucker's one of them Benjis from 2013. You gotta insert your profile picture from Facebook on there.
No, I don't. Oh my
You
god.
should put that little emo thing from Horton Hears a Who or whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to do a creepy one that is very, shall I say,
Disgusting.
yes, it is disgusting. It's creepy and
Oh,
disgusting.
God.
Now, just before I say this,
Alright,
reason-
before you start telling the story about my lit teacher. Good. Nah, she's actually really nice. She's probably like the coolest person at school. Anyhow, good.
now before I read off this tagline, the reason why I called it creepy is because it's creepy to think about what this dude's moral code is to make him do this, okay? So, on October 30th, 2017, 9 women were found dismembered by Japanese police in a man's apartment.
Oh yeah, I think I heard something about this, yeah.
A press outlet named GG Press reported that the police were searching
Oh,
for
welcome to GG Press, motherfucker. We give you the freshest news on the block.
on the block. There it is. Freshest news on the block.
Alright.
Police were searching for a missing 23-year-old woman. While searching for the woman, the owner of the apartment came up from the man being last
I guess
seen
they
with
found
the
a piece
woman.
of information.
Came up from the man being last seen with the woman on a security camera. A search of his flat came up with the dismembered body parts of 8 other women. There was also 1 dismembered man.
How did they know that there was 8 women? Did they put all the bodies together and they repiece them like Legos or some shit?
I've no clue, but probably.
That'd be awful.
Actually, that is a good point. Were there 8 different heads, or
Ew.
You say
Well, that's
ew,
one way
but
of
I'm
doing
just
it.
being realistic here. Like, were there actually 8 different heads, and that's how they were like, oh, there were 8 different victims? Or did they actually do what you said and piece them together? Like, there must be more than one because there's no way somebody has 2 left hands. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's creepy to think as what was going through this guy's mind when he dismembered all of these people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You
Jeffrey
lure
Dahmer
women
looking ass.
and a man into your
We got slant-eyed
apartment.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Slant-eyed Jeffrey Dahmer. Alrighty. So, do you want a
Let's go to
funny...
gaming.
Oh, the gaming one? So, this happened on October 30th as well. And the official headline was Kratos shows no mercy in the new God of War trailer, because the new God of War trailer came out, and
Okay.
people were not only impressed, but they realized how savage Kratos' fighting style had gotten, and they noticed something in particular. The new God of War trailer shows Kratos wielding a magical axe, a new magical axe that hasn't been in any of the games previously. The catch with this magical axe is that it brutally cuts down enemies in a way that reminds people of Thor's hammer, surprisingly. It's kind of like Thor from the Marvel movies, if there was more blood, guts, dismemberment, and it was Kratos and an axe, and not Thor and a hammer. The new God of War also features Kratos being a father to a young boy named Atreus. The game also seems to take place in a winter environment, or at least from what we've seen, because all of the trailers and all the gameplay stuff that I've personally seen has been in some like snowy forest. It's really weird. And Kratos has also gotten fat. He's an old fart now. He ain't buff and muscular like he was in his heyday. Let me tell you what.
Well, so you could pass for Santa at the mall.
Actually, yeah, because I'm pretty sure his beard is graying in the game.
Huh.
Yeah, right? So yeah, I mean, not much on the gaming front in terms of gaming news for this week. Well, for this past week and a half, because some of these are from the week before this week. Like the one from October 30th and 29th and stuff. So we have left a funny, the topic that was definitely avoidable, another creepy, and that's about it.
Let's go with the avoidable.
The avoidable. Okay. Now, I'm kind of bending the rules of the podcast a little bit with this one, and I did mean what I
He's
said.
about to say what he told me I'm not allowed to say.
I know I said that there's no mass murder allowed, but at the same time, even though this would technically be a mass murder charge, I think, it's still not a giant, like... It wasn't an intentional, like, terrorist attack mass murder, okay? It was an avoidable accident. So let me just explain the situation. This happened on November 1st. Woman accidentally commits mass murder. That's pretty much what happened. A woman named Asia Bibi had thrown some poison into her husband's milk to kill him to get out of their arranged marriage. This happened in Pakistan, mind you. She definitely hadn't thought of, or else she probably wouldn't have done it if she thought about this. The husband used the milk to make a dish called lassi, which is made with milk and turned into like a yogurt. The husband had then turned around and served it to 18 of his family members, making the grand total of people killed 19.
Oh my god.
Keep in mind that all of this was to escape an arranged marriage.
Did she eat it or no?
No.
You know how funny that would have been if she was the one eating it too? Like how fucking like ironic.
Yeah, just be like, what if like the husband
I got
actually
that
knew?
son of a bitch.
What
I'm
if the
done.
husband? What if the husband actually knew? He's like, here, Asia,
Huh.
eat the yogurt. And it was like, I don't want to, honey.
This shit,
Eat
bitch.
the fucking yogurt. And like, if we're all gonna die, you're gonna die too. So yeah, that was very avoidable. Also, I want to mention that whenever I get these topics or I find them, and if they're stupid and like absolutely almost unbelievable, like that one, I will read them and talk to them with my mom, because I usually search these up and type them up on the podcast topics list in the morning before work, so my mom's like right there next to me in the living room. And when I shared this story with her, I was trying to come up with a category. I was like, I don't want to just call it mistake, or and you know, it needs to be a one-word thing, so I settled on avoidable. But you know what her suggestion was to me? Oops.
Oops. It could be an oops.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about 19 people murdered with poison, and you're gonna say it
Well,
was...
okay, then we'll make it a
Oops.
ooh shit.
Oh my god, but she said, oops.
Oh shit.
We sat there and probably giggled for like 10 minutes.
Oh, you giggle? What are you, like a schoolgirl or some shit?
I'm never gonna do that again.
Thank you.
Alrighty. We're almost about 30 minutes in, and we have here a funny and a creepy, and that's it. So funny or creepy? Which one do you want to
Hit me up with the funny. We'll creep it out.
Hit me with the funny, and we'll creep it out, he says. Alright. So, on November 2nd, 2017.
Alright.
Terry Crews, do you remember who Terry Crews is?
No idea.
He's that black guy from like, na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, he's that black guy, right? You know who I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
Terry Crews is fine with you using him to save money.
What is he doing?
He is fine with you using him to save money. This is a very specific case, but essentially, he's fine with you using him to make money. Let me explain.
So can I, like, pimp him out or something?
No. This is what I mean, okay? Terry Crews on Twitter responded and approved a fan's request to have a picture of him as Julius, the father from Everybody Hates Chris, on her debit card because it helped her save money. The bank in question, Wells Fargo, which is the one that I use, denied the request by saying that she needed the pictured individual's permission to go through with it. After her and others reached out, Terry Crews had responded with the tweet, quote, "I approve. Signed, Terry Crews." It is unknown whether or not if Wells Fargo actually let her put a picture of Terry Crews on her debit card yet. But Terry Crews had actually reached out. Well, everybody else reached out and got his attention, and then he tweeted back to the woman saying that he approved.
That's actually pretty cool. Alright, now creep me out, my boy.
It was pretty cool, and I thought it was funny because, like, could you imagine putting somebody like for me, I would put Red from That 70s Show on my card and just see Red staring me down each and every time I make a purchase, and I'll be like, yeah,
you gotta
no,
get like one of those quotes. Like, what's he say a lot?
Red would approve. Dumbass.
Yeah.
Don't buy that. You're being a dumbass. That's the quote that you put on your debit.
You remind me of a dumbass. Wells Fargo, dumbass.
That would be amazing. Screw the red square with like the yellow text. Wells Fargo needs to make Red Foreman their mascot. And their new motto is, it's Wells Fargo, comma, dumbass.
You actually have to say
amazing.
the word comma too.
Yeah, it's like I can imagine the news headline now. Red Foreman from That 70s Show is telling Wells Fargo bank members to go into a coma. It's like, no, it's a comma, you idiot. Alrighty, so the final topic for today, and the reason why the reason why I call it creepy, I'm gonna have to explain myself a little bit after I say it, and the reason why I say that it's creepy. This happened October 31st. Now
there we go. We got every day from 29 to the 3rd. Let's go. All right. That's what I've been paying attention to this whole time. I'm pretty sure everybody watching it was too. They're like, yeah, 29th, 20th, 30th. We got a 31st. Let's go. Nobody was actually paying attention. They're just waiting for the dates. So like the 3rd, the 1st, the 2nd, the 29th. And then at this point, they're like, oh, let's see if we get the other two, 30th. Then the last one, the 31st. Let's go!
Alright.
Alright, yeah.
So, let me ask you another question.
Oh, God.
What do you do with 18-year-old Halloween candy?
18-year-old Halloween candy?
Yes.
Like, did the 18-year-old get the Halloween candy, or
No, like the Halloween candy itself is 18 years old.
Oh, I'd peddle that shit to little kids.
Well, that's kind of what happened. Adrian Johnson on Twitter posted a picture of a McVitie's milk chocolate digestive bar, which is something that only exists. It only exists in the UK, so don't worry if you don't know what it is. That has the expiration date of the 15th of May, 1999. Thus making the bar 18 years past its expiration date. Adrian himself confirmed in the post. Adrian himself confirmed in the post that he did eat it. There is also no indication that it tasted awful or bad, because there was no comment on whether or not.
They probably give him the shits.
It told him, yeah, right. It's a digestive bar, and it's 18. But the reason why,
hey, if you really want the shits, let your digestive bar sit for 18 years.
The reason why I called this creepy is because it's creepy to think what might. It's creepy to think what might happen to his body after he ate that. Like, obviously, you know, we can joke around and say, oh, he got some severe shits. But, like, really, though, like, could it kill you? Like, could it kill you? Like, what if that was a vitamin bar that sat around for 18 years? Like, could the vitamins have somehow spoiled or mutated in some way that could kill you? Like, that would be
Well, thanks for putting that in my mind now. I'm not going to take any overdue vitamins.
But just think about it, though. Like, that's pretty creepy.
Anybody's going to learn anything from one of them motherfuckers from Fallout. Them
feral ghouls.
You start glowing and shit. My fucking Flintstones made me glow.
Want to join my free glow stick giveaway?
My fucking Flintstones made me glow.
Goddamn you, Flintstones gummies! Alrighty. Now, we've reached the point in the podcast where, now, this first episode is not being broadcast live. It isn't. This is just going to be a recording that's going to be put up later on my channel. But, now would be the normal time where the chat of the live version of the podcast can interact and make any jokes that they wanted to make about any topic, or, you know, give us their 2 cents and we ponder on what they thought. But this one is not being live broadcast, and in order to be part of the live broadcast version of the podcasts, so Nick, don't expect this to happen anytime soon, and by this to happen, I mean the live portion. In order for that to happen, if you want to, basically what I'm trying to say, sorry, I got distracted by some background noise in my house. If you want to be part of the live audience to the podcast, go to my Patreon page, and any amount of pledge will allow you to be part of the live viewings of the podcast.
Pay to play. God damn, you're starting to sound like a Call of Duty game over here.
On top of that, if you want to be, and that gives you unlimited access to be part of the live crew and get your 2 cents.
And I donate you a penny.
On every single podcast, for only $2 a month, which is, you know, if you're a huge fan of mine and you totally want to be part of the podcast, and it's like one of your dreams for whatever reason, I have 2 things to say to you. Number 1, have a new dream, and 2, it's only $2 a month. So, $2 a month isn't really much at all, to be honest.
It's true. No.
Or if you don't want to do it a month and you don't care about being in more than one podcast, if you want to be a part of the next podcast, what you want to do is you want to go to the link in the description to my donation page, and any amount that you donate to me, you will be part of the following podcast after your donation, but only that one. Any that come after that, you would have to either donate again or go to Patreon. What?
How about, since there's crates in the World War II, that if we get up to $100, you'll match every dollar up to the $100, and we're gonna set this for a week after the video is uploaded, so whatever day that's gonna be. The week after, if we earn up to $100, you should match $100 and buy crates. But if you only get like 20, only match 20, you know?
That would be an interesting idea for a goal. So if from let's give it a week. You know what? Let's give it 2 weeks. If from Monday morning, which this podcast will be uploaded, from Monday morning to the fans, in 2 weeks, if you guys can donate or give me on Patreon or whatever, if the total sum amount of money that I earn monthly on Patreon and the amount of money that I made in donations sums up to $100, I will buy $100 worth of supply drops in Call of Duty World War II and open them on stream for you guys. How about that? Sound good?
Also, we should have a chat. Like, you can hit us up on Snapchat. Like, you can drop our snaps below. If anybody ever wants to hit us up or talk to us, they could.
Well, I can do that for you if you want. I'm not going to do that for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, sure. I'll put TFSlaier Snapchat in the description below as well. So you guys can hit him up with snaps, during the live podcast or after the podcast is uploaded if you want to give him your 2 cents, because you want him to care about what you think. Then go ahead and do that. But yeah, now would normally be the time when I'd look at chat and get your guys' 2 cents, but so until then, and also the donation can be any amount over $1 donation will grant you live access to the following podcast from which you donated. So yeah, pledge $2 a month, get access to the live versions of every podcast, or donate any amount higher than $1, and you can be part of the next podcast. So I think that's...
So when is our next podcast there, Ben?
Whenever Brent's done being a cuck and can actually come be part of it. Hopefully next week. Hopefully, I would love to make this a weekly thing where every week on Monday morning there's a new podcast up. If we miss a few weeks, whatever, it's no big deal. But, you know, if we miss next week, but then we do it the week after, or we do it every other week, it's no big deal. But I want to make this like an actual thing, if we can.
Yeah.
For those of you who, I mean, here's a little bit of trivia for you guys, if you want any trivia about me and my YouTube channels. On my old channel, I did have a podcast called the BNB Podcast. It was me and my friend Brett. I missed that podcast. I wish we could have it back. And I think enough time has passed where I have been willing to do a new podcast with new co-hosts. And the BNB Podcast is not gone, by any means. It is taking a very long hiatus until Brett makes his triumphant return. I'm not sure if he actually will, but I know that Brett, my friend Brett, B-Man, he will make a return. I don't know when, but he will, and when he does, I'll give him some time, obviously, but after a while I'll ask him if he wants to start up the BNB Podcast, and then maybe we can have a new podcast, maybe call it the 3 B's and the N or something like that, and add Brett into our podcast if this podcast...
BBN. Big Black Network.
No, it's not the Big Black Network, Nick. Shut up.
It's the Big Black Network podcast.
It's not the Big Black Network.
BBN broadcast stands for Big Black Network.
Oh my god. Shut up. Alrighty. Well, should we end the podcast? We've been going for about 40 minutes. Alrighty. So that's it for the BBN podcast minus a B. Thank you all so much for watching / listening.
Yeah, so it's just Black Network. We gotta wait for Big to come back.
So, I've been your co-host, Ben.
I've been Nick, also known as TFSlaier.
Who is my other co-host. So, this has been co-hosts Ben and Nick. Tune in next time when we have a whole new slew of news and topics to talk about. Hopefully, maybe some more jokes. This podcast is definitely probably a little rocky, maybe a little cringy for some of you, because this is the first time Nick has been a part of one of my podcasts. But hopefully with this one, he will learn from the experience and then be... I'm not saying that you were cringy, but I'm saying that it might have seemed like we didn't dwell on topics for very long, and that's mainly because a lot of these, I will say though, a lot of the topics that I had picked didn't provoke a lot of discussion.
Like the pussy escaping from the zoo.
Yeah, not a lot of them very thought-provoking, but I'll work on that next time. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. I just look on Twitter moments for this shit. So,
Did what?
I look on Twitter moments for this shit. So, because hey, you know, Twitter moments are a good way.
Runs from zero.
Hey, you know, honestly, Twitter moments are a good way to find news when it happens.
Twitter's more reliable than Facebook. I mean, Donald Trump's on Twitter.
No, but I mean that in, like, you know, news stories as they happen, and you get to read tweets of people reacting to it and of people that have actually been there and experienced it and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, it's time to stop drawing out the outro of this podcast. I've been your co-host, Ben. He is your co-host, Nick.
Who says we're drawing it out?
And we will see you all in the next edition.
How about we scribble it out?
Shut up, Nick! I swear! Anyways, we have been your co-hosts. This has been the first BBN podcast for
Big Black Network
for November 4th, 2017. No, it's not November. It's not. The podcast isn't.
It'll be
for
November
6th.
6th. Get your shit straight.
Yeah, November 6th, which is Monday. We weren't recording this on the 4th. I don't know what you're talking about.
May the 4th be with you.
It was not. It's a teens podcast.
2018
podcasts. What? It's not 2018 yet.
Yeah, not yet. I'm not graduated.
Oh my god.
Alright,
we're ending it! We'll see you in the next BBN podcast. Goodbye.